And welcome back to part 9 of child molestation prevention. In part 2, we asked, what is it that parents tell their children and that actually helps the predator to seduce, to convince the child to follow along with what he will say? Well, what parents tell their children, and in many cases it can be very harmful on many levels, definitely harmful for molestation, is when the child sincerely wants to know about a certain instruction and he wants to know the logical reason. Many children are extremely logical and they get excited and they're willing to do even things that are tough or hard, but they need to understand what's going on. And very sadly, throughout the generations, all mothers, many fathers had the exact same answer. It's because I'm your mother and I said so. That's why. Now, I'm going to have a whole clip discussing the various parts of why and where following instructions from adult is important and where it could actually be dangerous and wrong. So if your attitude to a child is always because I said so, and it's basically a one-way street. I'm the dominant one. I'm sorry for getting a little bit dirty here, but I'm the dominant one because my parents pushed me around. In order for the unhealed child within me to feel power, I don't mean to hurt my child, but I will feel very comfortable controlling, parenting, and disciplining, teaching my child from right to wrong. And there's never a two-way street to listen, well, maybe this method or this idea does not work for your child. So there are parents, and sadly too many of them, that constantly are giving orders, not too many choices. Like, when would you like to do this? We want to give choices to children. We want to nurture their autonomy, their decision making, their self-image, their way of thinking. And there's so much we can find out when children actually do get involved in decision making, which is awesome. That doesn't exist by those type of parents. So it's you do as I told you so. Now, after a while, even if the child is upset, the child is sort of brainwashed and he knows I got to do exactly as I'm told, and that's important. So if the child is trained that way from the age of 3, by the time the child is 7 or 8, and the molester comes to them and says, I'm going to do something you might feel uncomfortable, but as an adult, I'm telling you 2 things. First of all, this doesn't get out of here. Okay? Do you understand? The child goes, of course. You're an adult. I'm your mother and I said so. I'm your father and I said so, so you're very similar. You look like an adult, so whatever you say goes. And the child might not want, let's say, and the adult just gives a look and says, you know I told you so. You know I'm your teacher. You know I'm your uncle. You know I'm your older brother. You gotta listen to. That clicks with him. That clicks with her. Yes, that's exactly what my parents told me. And even though I'm upset about my parents, but if they tell me, and that's the way the child minds work, they must be right. I'm the stupid one. I'm the rebel. I'm the weird one, but really I need to do what my parents told me. So, training your child just to listen, even though things don't make sense, and even though things could be done differently, it's because I'm your mother and I said so, I'm the adult and I said so. The predator can use and do use that same language, and sadly, they get the child to comply. Have yourself a wonderful and delightful day, and thanks for checking in.